Might seem crazy what I'm about to say. Sunshine, she's here, you can take a break. I'm a hot air balloon that could go to space. With the air, like I don't care, baby, by the way. Because I'm happy. Clap along if you feel like a room without a roof. Because I'm happy. Clap along if you feel like happiness is the truth. Because I'm happy. Clap along if you know what happiness is to you. Because I'm happy. Clap along if you feel like that's what you want to do. Here come bad news, talking this and that. Give me all you got, don't hold it back. I should probably warn you, I'll be just fine. No offense to you, don't waste your time. Here's why. Because I'm happy. Clap along if you feel like a room without a roof. Because I'm happy. Clap along if you feel like happiness is the truth. Because I'm happy. Clap along if you know what happiness is to you. Because I'm happy. Clap along if you feel like that's what you want to do. Bring me down, can't nothing bring me down. The love is too high. Bring me down, can't nothing bring me down. I said, bring me down, can't nothing bring me down. The love is too high. Bring me down, can't nothing bring me down. I said, clap along if you feel like a room without a roof. Clap along if you feel like happiness is the truth. Clap along if you know what happiness is to you. Clap along if you feel like that's what you want to do. Clap along if you feel like a room without a roof. Clap along if you feel like happiness.
Okay, speaking with Stephanie LaRosa, who is a catcher, utility infielder as well, but one of the backbones of the Bruins this year, and 38-8, and a lot of it due to the power that's coming from our guest here, Stephanie LaRosa, and she's a catcher today, starting catcher, and is really, really an integral part of the team here. But Stephanie, let's talk about today's win.
I'd say it was awesome. It was definitely a team win, that's for sure. Coming out day 3, it's tough. You know, you face them twice already, and they already know what you have, you know what they have. So really it's about here coming out and it's having guts, and it's trying to get after it as a whole. You know, the pitching staff did a great job. All 3 of our pitchers got to see the field today, and they came in together, and they worked hard, and we got it done as a team. It was great.
One of the most important positions on the field, as they all more critically are important, but catching has got to be one of the most challenging. And Stephanie, tell us how you were attracted to play that position.
Well, you know, I'm actually fairly new to the position for a D1 athlete. It's only my second year ever catching. I caught last year, my junior year, and now I'm out here again this year. And, you know, just whatever I can do to help the team. That's what my coach kind of came up to me and she asked, you know, we're going to need some help behind the plate. How do you feel about that? Never caught a day before in my life, but I said, you know what, coach, whatever you need. So that's what I did, jump behind the plate, and, you know, I try to stick with the pitchers, try to connect with them and make an impact. And
Stephanie, again, not only are you critically important to the team as a catcher, your bat speaks for itself. And today, a huge home run. Talk about the setup at the time of the pitch and in terms of the game, because I think it was very close at that point.
Yeah, you know, you always want to come out here and you want to have your pitchers' backs, trying to get some insurance runs. So I think we were up in that part of the game, but still getting a few extra runs, knowing that they don't have to be perfect. That if they do mess up, you know, things do happen out here on the field. It's things that you can't control, and you know what, just getting some insurance runs, that was my main focus, trying to help out the pitchers.
And again, with your teammate Delaney Spalding, another home run for her, and now you've both reached the 10 home run mark in the season. It's almost 2/3 of the way through, and that's says a lot about the way Coach Inoue Perez is implemented her lineup.
Definitely, yeah. Dee and I, we kind of joke about it. A lot of people have come up to us and say, yeah, you guys are competing for home runs, going back and forth, but we both kind of have the same mindset. We step in the box trying to help out the team, not really looking for outcome, and if the home runs come, you know, that's great, but that's not what we're looking for.
Let's talk about the chemistry factor now, Stephanie, because the gelling has already been it's happening from day one, and now you guys are well into the season, 2/3 mark, and stretch, as they say, rounding third and heading for home. Talk about the Bruins at this point, because your eyes are set on the Pac-12.
Absolutely. I think, we're in a great spot right now. We're coming off, I think, 2 sweeps now. We beat Stanford last weekend, came out here, and we did well against Cal. It was a battle, and it's not easy, but knowing that we all have each other's backs, we stick together, and that's what's going to get it done ultimately in the end.
And Stephanie, let's talk a little bit about your academic pursuits here at UCLA. You're a senior. It's been 4 years of a great career, and you're going to further at some point. But right now, you're in the middle of, I can't say finals. Is it midterms, or the way the academics years go here at UCLA? You're very, very importantly working on academics as well.
Definitely. And knowing that, I took that into account, my freshman, sophomore, junior year, and I actually took summer school all 3 years, so I'm only taking one online class right now. So I have one online class. I'm of course focusing on that, but I get to come out here spring and kind of just focus on softball.
Okay, and the pursuit that you've taken here in terms of your course of studies?
Sociology, so we'll see where that leads me in the future.
Okay. And lastly here in this area of where you developed skills as a softball player, can you tell us a little bit about your high school or possibly the traveling teams before that?
Yeah, absolutely. I started softball young, probably 3 or 4, playing t-ball and working my way up through. I played travel ball for the Corona Angels, and I played for Marty Tyson. Not sure if you know who he is, but a huge impact in my life, very inspirational, and I give a big reason of why I'm here today is because of that man. I owe a lot to him. Can't thank him enough. And reached here, UCLA is always a dream, and he helped me get there. So.
Okay, and your high school you attended?
Definitely. I went to Diamond Bar High, Coach Roberta Garcia, under her for 4 years, and my dad ended up helping out my junior, senior year. So that was fun. That was an experience, but they all definitely prepared me for where I am today.
Just 2 quick questions. The recruiting process to attract you to come to UCLA, how did that go, and what was involved in it?
How can you say no to UCLA? They're about 45 minutes from my house, close to home, great academics, great athletics. I mean, most NC national championships, NCAA. And, that right there speaks mounds for itself, knowing that they have a great alumni program, and just kind of that alone convinced me to come here.
Okay, and lastly, we want to get your thoughts on encouragement. Words of motivation, inspiration to those youngsters that are playing, and many of them were here today, your fans pouring out here to see you get your autographs on Autograph Day. But to keep that line and that generation of young players interested in focusing on their sport, whether they like baseball, whether it's softball, football, volleyball, whatever the course may be, but words of encouragement. Of course,
just like anything, you get out what you put into it. So just to kind of keep your head down and work hard, but you also have to understand at a young age that grades do play a huge factor. And so that, especially when you come to college, you don't have softball without the grades. So that's just a huge focus. You really need to focus on your grades and, get it done in the classroom as well as on the field to play at a level like this. And once you get here, sky's the limit. You're on many lists for academics and All-American consideration. And how do you feel when those tributes and accolades come to you? It's not really about accolades. Ultimately, at the end of the day, it's about, whether we get the W as a team, and that's kind of what I focus on. So if the accolades come with it, that's great, but that's not my main focus out here. Words of encouragement. And again, from Stephanie LaRosa, we want to thank you for giving us some time here and on a big win. Continued luck. Good luck in the Pac-12. Thank you very much. Okay. All right. There she is, Stephanie LaRosa. We're going to try and get her one more interview here, hopefully with the head coach or maybe one more player. But right here, it's a big win, 8-5. The UCLA Bruins taking care of business on a sweep of the Cal Bears. We'll be back in a moment. This is East LA Sports Scene. And here we are now with the postgame, a big victory, a huge Pac-12 victory, boosting the record now to 38-8. Speaking with us now, head coach Kelly Inouye-Petters. And Coach, good to see you again.
Thanks for having us.
Good, and we started way back in February. Yeah. So season had just been started, barely 4 or 5 games in, and here we are now, 46 games later. Your status report, the report card on the team, and the Bruins' chances of in the Pac-12 and then beyond.
Yeah, I really like where we are. The season is a journey. You start from fall ball when we first get together and you work really hard, and then the season presents so many different learning opportunities. Love where these girls are. We're coming together at the right time. They're fighting very, very hard. They're very versatile and athletic, and they're focused on whatever's best for this team. And I just really like how we finished out this sweep of Cal. It was a big series, and I'm just proud of where we're going.
Coach, you mentioned at the beginning of the season, we talked about that magical 50 victory win season, and you're closing in very quickly.
Yeah, I think for us, we're taking it one game at a time. Mm-hmm. I think at the end of the day, we want to be able to be the last team standing. So, records, wins, all of them, we just look at just great moments where we can learn about ourselves and how we can be that much better, being prepared for the next opportunity. So yeah, numbers and accolades and all those things. Our plan is to be the best team standing and be the champion in the end. So for right now, everything is just great experience that's preparing us for the end.
Game by game, opponent by opponent, and then pretty soon the regular season
Absolutely.
will end, and we're looking at then the postseason, and that would start in May. Correct?
Yes, that'll start in May. We have 3 weekends left. We have the Oregon State and then the Arizona schools, and then I think all 3 weekends will be great. Just more practice and competition to be able to prepare for the end, and then we have great hopes to be able to have the opportunity to stay here and host at home for for regionals. But we got to finish strong and put ourselves in a position to have that bid.
Let's quickly recap today's game, Coach, because it had you on the back end.
Oh, yeah.
The losing score in the first early innings here, but you made some adjustments and the players stepped up. Let's tell us from your perspective in the dugout when you had to make your moves. The team responded.
I'm really proud of this team. I think this team has shown that they fight. They fight. They're not going to quit, and we know our game. Somebody can score early in a ball game, and that doesn't mean that that's going to be the outcome. We literally have to play the game one inning at a time, one pitch at a time, and know that, especially when we're at home, we're going to get the last punch. But if you look at the scoreboard, every time they throw a punch, we throw a punch back. Yes. And I think those are the types of things that championship teams do. We don't get caught up in a score in the middle. We fight all the way to the end, and that's what you saw today. You saw the Bruins continue to throw punches from the first all the way to the end, and ended up being, we got the victory here at the end.
And the bats were hot tonight,
oh my gosh.
or today.
Well, and
2 home runs.
I think, it's spread out, though. The 2 long balls, I think, were big. But some of the little things that happened, just 2 strike at bats that got turned into hits, or hustling on the bases, or hustling out things that scored more runs. Yes, the long ball is the most attractive part of our sport. But the people that got on that allowed us to get those extra runs, just a team effort today. And I'm really proud of their fight.
And Coach, again, it's a process. You have so many players,
Yep.
so many waiting for their turn, and their turns will come.
Right.
But right now, your focus is to win the Pac-12. Now coming in at 10-3 after today's win,
Yep.
and Oregon is still up on top.
Yeah.
Any possibility of catching them in the ranks?
In the opportunity that we had when we faced them, and them walking away winning the series, it puts us in a position where it's out of our hands now. Okay. What is in our hands is to be able to continue to get after our W's weekend by day by day, weekend by weekend, and that puts you in a hunt. So if anybody were to get a hold of Oregon, then it puts us in a position to have that opportunity to win that Pac-12. But for right now, all we can focus on is ourselves, and our goal is to finish out. We want to win every series, we want to win every game, and ultimately that may lead us to a Pac-12 championship.
Okay, the word is may, but it could be a possibility.
I know.
Coach, so much has happened with the major leagues opening up and devoting, I believe it was Monday or Tuesday, for Jackie Robinson Day. And of course, the roots are right here
Absolutely.
at UCLA. Tell us something that might have happened here on campus that provided an inspiration, a big lift to all the teams.
Well, I think we're just proud. I think a big part of being a Bruin is understanding the tradition of all, not just softball, but all the sports and all the athletes and all the greats that are part of our Bruin family. And we're all very proud. And so every Bruin that has ever come through the program in the school is part of, the fabric that makes us all so proud. And, they had a special day earlier in this year that recognized Jackie Robinson and his impact to all of us. And we all now, if you notice, at every facility at here on campus, we have a 42. And, we all can kind of take a moment to recognize just that, the impactful Bruin and Jackie Robinson. I actually got to go to the event and had his wife, I got a chance to hear her speak about when they met and the impact. She's a Bruin too, and how they met here. So there was just some great moments. And then for us to, pull it all together, and we have a Bruin right now in Jelly Felix, who is wearing the number. And, there's only a handful of the Bruins that were able to wear that number, and she will be the last softball player and, one of the few Bruin athletes that will ever be able to wear that number. But the Robinson family has allowed her to wear it out through the remainder of her career. So, just a great moment. Like I say, we're proud of all of our Bruins, but that we're inspired every day by all those that walk before us, and Jackie Robinson happens to be a pretty big one.
Coach, you've given us quite a bit of an update. We thank you very much. We appreciate you taking the time to speak to our fans here on East LA Sports Scene, because they are very, very big and powerful Bruin fans.
Keep watching, and our goal is to be best at the end, so keep watching. Thanks.
Okay, and with that, Coach,
thanks for coming.
Thank you very
I appreciate
much.
it.
Kelly
All right.
Pettis,
All right,
good
take
luck
care.
to you.
Thank
Okay,
you.
all right.
Thank you.
Thank you. Good luck, Coach, and good luck to the Bruins as they have their work cut out for them. Two more one homestand in 2 weeks. They go on the road to Oregon State for 3 games against the Beavers. And look for the Pac-12 if you have it on your cable carrier. Look for the Pac-12. You'll be able to watch some of the games that are on there, and then we'll come back for the closeout homestand in May, first week of May, and finish up the regular season coverage of the Bruins. And then they go on to the regional playoffs. So for Eric Sarni, Rico Cabrera, thanks for watching this edition of East LA Sports Scene as we cover the UCLA Bruins, 38-8, second place in the Pac-12. We'll see you soon on our next edition. Take care.
Clap along if you feel like a room without a roof. Clap along.